Hi, I'm Debbie the Dragon, co-hosting with Ben today, and this is episode 2 of Speak Season 3. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. This is Finn. We are excited to share that this episode features Lizzy Langan, and Elizabeth invites us into creative joy and reflection through art and stories.
Hi, I am Elizabeth. I'm also known as Lizzy. This episode is called Stardom in the Arts.
Stardom in the Arts. That was perfect.
What kind of art do you like to do?
Well, I really wanted to be a photographer someday. Photographer and actress.
I feel like I could imagine you being an actress. You really like TV shows and film.
Yeah. I'm also an advocate for all abilities and human rights. I like doing art that actually inspires me. Drawing and painting. I have been doing a lot more of my photography.
What kind of photography do you do?
I do a lot of nature photography, flowers and glass, and I like taking pictures of landscapes.
What about animals, like dogs or cats?
I actually take pictures of geese. I also have been doing felting.
When was the first time that you ever tried felting?
I did my moose. I was a felting canvas of my moose.
What, Lizzy? I've seen a moose. Big.
I first met many of the artists at Being Studio, like Elizabeth, while programming was entirely virtual. When I was brainstorming for this episode, I was having reflections of this. And during this time, I remember feeling very grateful for the opportunity to still have a virtual space to connect and to share alongside other artists. This was a time of transition, transformation, and being. I feel very lucky for the many moments of joy and also of imagination during this time. I shared some of my reflections to Debbie and Lizzy when we were working on this episode, and I asked them if they have any thoughts or memories about the beginning days of virtual programming.
I remember doing art online virtually.
Some of the first artworks that I've seen by you, I only saw them online.
Yeah.
And so it was really exciting to come back and see everything in person.
I was so happy to see everybody online. I felt really lost without my pals being around. It's like, great, let's get back to it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's too quiet at home.
Mm.
To me, friendship means a lot. It means love. It means caring. It means working together, staying in harmony, and just being around the people you love.
What do you enjoy about making art and being around other artists?
I love it. It's a lot of fun. We bounce our ideas off of each other sometimes.
Speaking of bouncing, I noticed the other day when you and Lizzy were connecting, you kept bouncing jokes off of each other. She's so funny. And I think it's like something that you both share in a way?
Yeah, Lizzy is one of my good friends, and I love her to pieces. Her nickname for me is Debbie the Bouncing Ball.
You make so many of your friends laugh.
Yeah.
Would you say that you like to make people laugh?
Yeah. Because my dad, he has a very quick, dry sense of humor. My sister, my grandma, and my dad.
Hey. How would you describe Lizzy?
Bubbly. Bubbly. She loves mooses. Yeah.
Lizzy's laugh makes me want to laugh.
Yeah, I love her laugh. Her laugh is very contagious.
It fills the room.
Yes, it does.
Do you think that it was important for you to stay connected with everyone at Being?
Yes.
I remember you brought so much fun energy.
One of my early memories of Lizzy, when joining those virtual calls, was that her laughter and passion was infectious. It brought energy and excitement and so much space for possibility. Lizzy is an artist and community member of many. She loves to dance, draw, paint, and write. She also has a great passion for fan art, photography, performance, nature, and friendship.
I am a loving, friendly, and gifted artist. In my future, I'd like to be a scriptwriter. In my future, I would also love to live in New York City, become an author, artist, and Broadway actress. I like doing fan art, like for Riverdale. Riverdale is a teen dark series that are based by the Archie comic, and the characters that's also from the Archie comic. Betty, Veronica, Jughead, and Archie.
When I was younger, I used to have a lot of Archie comics. Have you ever made your own kind of stories or like movie ideas?
I know I've done a comic scene based by the people that I love and the people I love to watch.
I wanted to take some time to talk more about Lizzy's drawing and photography.
So I take pictures of nature landscapes, trees, geese, and I took a picture of the waterfall, and it got really so popular because I did a photography contest.
Wow.
Yeah, I entered a photo contest, and I was one of the runner-ups.
Oh, runner up. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you like being in the nature?
Yes, it's really kind of nice. Whenever I go camping, I actually take pictures of nature, like the beauty of it.
I think I've seen paintings of yours and drawings of mooses.
Because it's my camp mascot.
Your camp mascot.
Yeah. I actually designed a t-shirt for my camp.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you tell me about some of the artists in your life?
Yes. I have a best friend that I really admire to the most. She's a Riverdale creature. It's Elisa. And she is like the biggest role model to me. She's an artist at Being, and I'm very grateful that I get to share things with her.
What do you think Alyssa would say if someone asked her who is Lizzy?
I know she would say how loving and sweet I am and how funny I am. I really love coming to the studio because I love to connect with friends and to do art with them. And I love doing all the artworks that I've done.
Yeah. I think that making artwork around people is always a different kind of experience. Are there any photographers that you really admire?
I do know someone who really inspired me to do it, and it's my favorite actor, Cole Sprouse.
Cole Sprouse?
Yes, he's a professional photographer.
Ooh.
And he's been taking pictures on every trip he goes to.
That's amazing. Do you ever go on trips and take pictures?
Yes, like when I went to a college, I want to just take pictures of everything. I'll just take pictures of nature.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Do you remember this drawing?
Yes.
You talk about mooses.
Oh, yes. I actually did it for someone.
Oh.
I used black paper with a white gel pen, and I colored the moose in with a light brown color.
I think the white gel pen is super bright. And I love these two flowers that stand on each side of the moose. The moose is big.
Yeah.
A sun in the corner, the top corner, with some clouds.
Yeah, all the neat thing on my black papers, my sister actually got me these nice colors that I can use on my black papers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like mooses are a really big theme.
Yes.
What do you like about fan art? Archie and Riverdale comes up a lot. Have you ever shared your fan art to communities that also like Archie and Riverdale?
Oh, yes. Here's the fun part of it. So one of my favorite villains, he's an actor from Riverdale, and his name is Lachlan Monroe. And I did this fan art of him as the villain. I did this fan art of him, of the villain, the Black Hole. And he posted my artwork to his story.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the really exciting things about fan art is that you can connect with other people that really like it too.
Yeah.
Wow. So the villain from Riverdale TV show shared your artwork about Riverdale.
Yeah.
Are there any other people that you really admire?
I did the one of Jughead Jones, who's played by Cole Sprouse. He's the one I got into photography in Riverdale both. He does landscaping, he does fashion, and he does campaigns and causes for his photography. He actually did Canada Goose, which is pretty fascinating for his photography. He also has done a lot of trips too to take his photography photos.
Wow, that's so cool. Did you ever make any fan art to Cole Sprouse?
I actually did the one for his new movie based off Frankenstein.
Okay.
And then an artwork of him as the creature, like as the Frankenstein. Yeah, Frankenstein.
Wow, that's so cool.
I actually did a few of them.
Hmm.
And they really actually inspired me.
That's great. That's so interesting to know about your artwork. Do you think you would enjoy drawing one of his photos?
Oh my god, that would be so cool. Yeah, well, I have a favorite one, and that's one of his mountain ones.
We took a look at some photography images that Lizzy took, and I asked if there are any memories or thoughts that come to mind when we look at the photos.
We're looking at tall trees, and it's almost like we're looking up. Have you ever laid on the ground and look up at the trees or the sky?
Long time ago.
That's what this photograph makes me think about, is laying on the ground outside and looking up and thinking about how tall everything is and how peaceful it is to see it in this way.
So I took that one, and I thought to myself, oh, maybe I should just take it because it's so pretty.
What made you look up to the sky?
Well, it's the lightning of that.
Yeah, I see the light coming through the trees. The next photo, these beautiful tulips.
Yeah.
These tulips remind me of May.
Oh, I love those. Yeah, when I was a kid, my mom and dad used to plant flowers in the garden. We lived on a hill, so half of the hill was all full of flowers.
Yeah, I think this photo reminds me of like endless amounts of tulips. So the last photograph of Lizzy's.
It's very beautiful, and I love the water, though. So calm it looks like.
Yeah, I think her photography is very calming, peaceful.
Yes.
As we wrap up Lizzy's episode, we reflect on all the different stories of connection that she has reminded us of.
I asked Lizzy, what would you like your listeners to know about your artwork?
I want them to know about how much I love doing the artworks I've done, past and present. I want them to know that how much I enjoy art.
Like a long time ago when you first started, you did a lot of painting. And then it seems like what you're talking about is how your interest now in the present, it shifted to more photography, drawing, and writing. So the old stuff and the new stuff, past and present.
And future.
And future.
Thank you for sharing your artwork, your ideas with us. We really love to hear from you again.
Yes.
Season 3, Speak 2.
It has been a great pleasure working on this episode. It has been so much fun hearing about art practices, passions, and connections.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed doing this with you. It's really great.
Thank you for listening. Speak is hosted by
Debbie the Dragon Ratcliffe.
Myself, Finn.
Produced and co-hosted by Rachel Gray and Finn.
Special thanks to Christina Bell for music composition in this episode. Being Studio also gratefully acknowledges the financial support of the City of Ottawa for this season.